So your project is Enterprise Identity Manager. So first thing I would like to ask from Rishu, what do you understand the meaning of Enterprise Identity Manager? Just three words. What is enterprise? What is identity? What is manager? I know it is for digital identities anyway.
Enterprise means generally a type of a firm we can define. Firm. Identity means a firm having its identity means its own dignity or something, like working on some behalf of. Identity means identity means could, like, I can say that.
Okay, identity. Let's go ahead. Okay,
and identity and manager means how we are managing it, all the stuff. Like enterprise identity manager means, suppose I'm having a company right now. How I am managing the identity, like the term related to different aspects such as
okay, no problem. I can give you the quick context. So here the meaning of Enterprise Identity Manager means it's not something exists and we are learning. It's by us, we are defining it. It is our own project. It is not somebody else's project. It is my project. And I need to define it clearly. Mine means Rishu project, Shivam, Rajan, Shreya project, right? So it is not somebody else's project. I'm not reading any book, right? For me, what it belongs to me, what belongs to myself as a project. So to myself, its meaning is, because I'm the person who is, or it's my team who are developing this solution. So enterprise means a business, a stable business, or a startup business, a business which have, a group of people who are solving or working as per regulation or something. So enterprise is like enterprise. Usually enterprise, we say, whenever we have more than 100+ people doing multiple businesses together, something like that, like Mr. Haldiram, which have multiple businesses, or, a bank or something, means something which is doing multiple, not a company. Sometimes we say small. Enterprise, we say when there are multiple businesses happening. Identity means digital identities here, and manager means we are developing a solution here which is applicable from small even to enterprise. So we have scaled it. So what we are saying as a team, as a Shivam, Rajan, Sumit, Rishu, Shreya, we are saying that we are developing enterprise identity manager solution, right? Now you may ask me, oh, what is new that? Why you are doing this? What exactly it is? See, it has many purposes. One thing, we have to start somewhere. We have to start from somewhere, right? And things changes, like maybe 3 years ago, 10 years ago, somebody got developed in PHP, somebody developed on different mindset, even your house, you may see, oh, I don't need this kitchen. I need kitchen this side, or I need bathroom this side, or I may need something like different way, right? So same thing with coding, languages, understanding, right? It needs modernization, right? And things never finishes, right? So there are multiple ways we can explain about it, right? Now, enterprise is fine, something which is the large scale. Identity is means in our tech system, in our IT system, right? When somebody means, there's a two key things we are doing it here. One is authentication, another is authorization. Authentication is, I have authenticated you. You are, let's say, in MMMUT. You have an ID card, I authenticated you. You are the right user who can come to MMMUT. But whether you can go to BTech Computer Science class or whether you can go to BTech Mechanical Engineering class, that comes with authorization, right? Now, our part in this is, because we all here learning three different things, right? Three different terms points. One is DevOps engineering. Second is cloud engineering. Third is platform engineering. I would like to give you exact clarification how I see about it, because these are not something, which I can read some books and tell you something like that. This is how I observe it, understand it based on my practical experience. This is the same an example, Rishu, because you studied in MMMUT for 4 years. So you can give me better direction. Rather, I can study from a book, which tell me what MMMUT is. So think about it. So when around 2010, when 2008, 9, 10, before 2010, as per my experience, we were developing desktop-based applications. I was not anyway into desktop-based application, but if you say application side, it was desktop. I was in telecom networks. Nowadays, the way we are talking via Zoom, under the hood, various voice over IP style algorithms, those kind of things are working. So I was working on that. I was on protocol side, TCP/IP protocols, networks, telecom, 3G. I was in that side. But from 2010, when cloud engineering came, so there was a transformation of solution development. It was not like you are putting everything on your premises, like we call it that times, kind of build engineering. There was a build engineering. So we had C++ and a couple of different way of doing things. So we were doing the build kind of engineering, something like that, right? So I think we called that time build engineering. 2010, something like that, right? I don't know. So that was the build engineering. But when 2010, these terms coined over conferences and other things, DevOps engineering. DevOps engineering was developers, operations, something like that. It is like, I don't know from there this culture came, but most of that means because I actually jumped more into the cloud engineering around 2010. That was the time I was in Samsung Electronics, South Korea, and they were there. I was in a project we call a convergence networks team, and what that team was doing, that was developing private cloud, public cloud for Samsung, for South Korea government. So that had various things were going on. I was new into that as well. So this term coined up DevOps, because DevOps guys, they were, because there was a, like, when you do work, you divide some set of responsibility, and in that specific terms, the DevOps teams, developer operations, something like that coined out, and those guys given up the responsibility that they're going to manage the infrastructure, or they're going to wherever, like we have developed in our application, where this application sits. But I'm not very much happy with many projects how the DevOps works. In US, its culture is different. but not every project I found the DevOps really understood. Anyway, so DevOps first built engineering, you can say before 2010 or something. Then DevOps system came, right? And it was continue until, I would say around 2010 or 2015, 18. I saw cloud engineering terms, cloud engineering when AWS Azure, other things came, like, and rather than developing, it's my understanding, when projects grew, because 2010 project got started, then project grew, when project grew, then a lot of things we need to do. Engineering always means is developing sort of applications with some, raw Lego blocks. So there were cloud items. Like, again, it was same with this, like, you say, it was similar like DevOps, but cloud engineer is something who's managing logs, or means work stays same. They working infrastructure side. Platform engineering, this is how I think. Platform engineers, like, usually they say they improve the platform, they develop the platform, rather than, whatever is going on until now, you're using AWS and other things, something like that. Platform engineering is, to me, more like, when you're working with AI native team, because those teams producing more code and they have a different structure, something like that. In one of my recent experience in one of the enterprise, very big enterprise, that specific enterprise have many open AI engineers, and those guys transforming their complete infrastructure, which they had since 2000. So in the year of 2000, they had, same build engineering way of stuff. Even that has very big enterprise, but now they're transforming, moving everything to the cloud. So there they call the platform architects or engineers who are basically, designing the platform such a way, not exactly only AWS way, but they are designing their own consoles, applications on top of it, designing on top of their own solution. How? Because AI is there, they can develop their own tools. They don't need to go with Jenkins or Jenkins, or I'm saying those are very well respected. I respect more than anything those tools and everything. But what my meaning is, like, now you don't need to dependent on someone because you have more capability. So once you get free time, right? Once you develop a solution and you get more free time, that free time you can use to develop solution the way you want. So that is something kind of overview, when I say what DevOps, what cloud, what platform engineering is, what enterprise identity. See, you have to exist as digital identity, correct? So in your case, most of the time, how we define the identity. Identity is like, your email is as an identity, right? And I'm providing access to you based on your email or on your mobile number, right? And it depends on situation to situation, like, whether invited by me, invited by enterprise to enter it, or you got sign up. But here is you are giving identity to the person, like GetPostLabs, right? So there is a process in, or triple MUT, there's a process in place before you enter to university. Once you enter, everything happens, then one day you get the email ID, something like that, or you go to Infosys, or you go to IBM, or you go to Microsoft, Google, something like that. So when you get that specific email, enter to the system, use company's digital resources, that is your identity. So identity is what? An email, mobile number, or some logging process which lets you enter after doing certain level of authentication, authorization, giving you roles or something like that. Clear? So that is on the definition level. Now the point comes, see, Shreya asked the question, Rajan, you asked the question, you want to become a cloud engineer, you want to become a platform engineer. I say do it, right? But you need to do, certain basics, which I think is like basics, right? An example of basics, like, I'm not sure, have you ever run this TCP dump command? And have you ever run this dig command? Right? Or have you ever run, like, what do you say? Let's look up. Right? Or have you ever run traceroute? Let's say google.com. I'm not sure if you have looked into this. So always use this. Let's say you are studying JWT. So look onto JWT RFC. This is the standard. Right? This is the standard we follow when we are in cloud or platform engineering, like that. When we want to understand basics. So identity, most of the time you would have understood, like, we are using JWT tokens or something like that. So use this RFC, whatever. What is this number? 7519. You want to study about TCP, you can type that TCP RFC. And nowadays, you don't need to, you will not get stressed, because what you can do, you can type 20, 30 questions to ChatGPT or something. Within 20 minutes, you will understand everything. You can ask question, what is TCP, what I need to understand, what exactly the key point, how I can experiment about it, how I can learn that TCP is the main protocol. On top of it, most of the other cloud infrastructure is running, something like that, right? You can ask questions like that, right? Which is the main RFC to understand it, right? Something like that. So you don't need to go everywhere, right? And state machine, right? Okay. Yeah. So this is the state machine on which, I can give you quick idea what it means, right? So you can get some started, because I see. So usually, if you don't know, then we have started working from the socket programming, right? Something called socket programming, operating system. So everything runs on top of what? Operating system, correct? Right? So operating system means, if you see, like, Microsoft, no, operating system architecture, right? That's what I was like. So platform engineers first is very good on command line. They don't go UI and everything. UIs or everything is for people like me, not me, someone who basically just want to see the things, right? Something like that, right? So for us, we need to know shortcuts. The more we know the shortcuts, we can utilize Claude. or something. Let me try if I can use that. So see, in the high level, like, TCP/IP stack, correct? TCP/IP stack. So think about it. TCP/IP stack comes under the networking part of the operating system, right? In the TCP/IP stack, we call it as protocols, right? And always think about, like in your city, Lucknow, or my city, wherever I'm from India, or from wherever I'm from. Currently, I'm in Brisbane. So usually what happens, there are stages we construct the things, right? So currently I'm here. There was a time when no roads, the roads came, then houses came, some park came. So same way in our tech industry, I think around the 2000 year, when I walked into the tech industry, that time, the technical companies were developing the solution on top of these protocols, right? So you would have heard Skype, SKYP is Skype, Teams, WhatsApp, or Zoom. Everything is on top of this TCP/IP stuff. That time, we were doing more socket programming. Socket programming means two computers can talk each other. So like currently, I'm sitting in my place, and from here, I'm talking with you, Shreya. You are in Lucknow, and you have your machine. And I forgot what the word we say when we have multiple channels, because currently we have multiple channels, right? You can simultaneously, you can see my video, and you all can see my video, and I can see your videos. Means there's a multiplexing. I forgot, there's a word, multiplexing, deep multiplexing, those kind of things we are doing. So currently the frame, when I'm talking, the frames are getting generated, and somewhere it is passed to each other machine. This was the extremely complex technical problem, right? Nobody was able to solve it. And now I can see the status of Shivam, yours, Rajan, Rishu. In the WhatsApp, you can see whether Shivam is online or not online, something like that. So when you get a time, you look into this kind of solution, libjingles, Google library. So Google had the these things like what do you say, Google Talk. So Google Talk uses this libjingle. Libjingle is C++ socket programming kind of things, right? So that uses protocol name XMPP. So this XMPP tells you, it was one of the library, one of the way presents signaling whether this user is not there. So there was series of such development, and now those development are stable. Now not investor or tech people are coming. I don't know. It's up to the people, even you can do it. But usually when you come in the cloud engineering, cloud engineering or platform engineering world, you need to learn the protocols, TCP/IP, the basic thing, right? Now, when you see the protocols, like, so there is a protocol stack as defined by, the networks IETF community, Internet Engineering Task Force. So when I was talking to you, this state machine, right? TCP state machine, right? So TCP state machines, have, when two entities talk each other, this entity, one entity, it sends first a SYN packet. SYN packet means it sends a sequence, start sequence number 1. That sequence come to this side. Then this guy sent his sequence number. So what it means, this guy sends sequence number 1, this guy sends his sequence number and acknowledgement, this is my sequence number, and then this guy sends my acknowledgement. So these three guys handshake each other. We call it SYN-SYNAC ACK. Once this is done, then they do data transfer to each other. Data transfer means even a single byte sent it here, right? We send it group of data, like you send a 100 KB file, 100 kilobyte file. Under the hood, the data goes 1 kilobyte, 2 kilobyte at a time to another place based on the things. But TCP have, a header which defines the size of it, something like that. This is the TCP header. Source port, destination port, sequence number, acknowledgement, what is data is about. These are, different flags: pin, SYN, reset, push, act, urgent, EC, checksum. This is the window. It is like a lot of things comes here, urgent pointer, and this is the data which goes, something like that. So we call it first handshake, and we call it, these kind of things. So if you are working on platform engineering, my mind says you must know about it and you have experimented around it. Today, I'm just giving you an outline, right? So if for any reason you are just thinking, no, I will run just some command and I will do some certificates, nothing will happen. In certificates, they will ask some questions, you will get an answer. That's it. That will not. You must be having, these kind of things. You must be knowing IP header, right? So we call it IP header, from where data is going, from where it is going, something like that, right? Then we have TCP IP, we have ICMP protocol, right? So usually the structure is, on top we have TCP, UDP, but TCP we say connection oriented, UDP we say connectionless. But connection oriented means you would have seen that you are driving, you're still able to see internet, you're going through your session, your internet sometimes stops and again come back. There are some certain properties, we call it keep alive timer and other kind of things that comes from here, something like that, right? So you must know all those basics. You must know those basics about the ports, IP addresses, how network got designed, because what you are designing from AWS, in reality, the similar things you are designing, it is happening designed somewhere else, correct, right? So I have also shared with you, I have also shared with you Like everybody must have, these that, right? So my idea is like you guys can, have a good idea of it. You guys can look into identity manager. IDT, IAM identity center, something like that, right? And Route 53, we put the, deploy our zones, anything, everything, something like that. Okay, so here I just thought to give an outline, right? You need to understand deeper cloud, but don't understand this way that you're clicking this. Always see what is happening under the hood. If you are typing Amazon Cognito, then ask how Amazon Cognito manages SRP password stuff, because it uses the secure remote password, some kind of stuff is there, right? So having said all these things, if you go with this project, right, one thing you have to develop the enterprise identity manager means, enterprise identity means how you are going to setting up authentication, authorizations, how somebody's get onboarded, how basically, his forward password and other things would be maintained, right? How JWT tokening system is maintained. One of the key things which every across industry uses Keycloak. Okay, so Keycloak is open source, and many company, they don't use what we say this one, Cognito or something. They use this Keycloak and they have their own, they develop their own solution. So it has many protocols like OIDC, right? OpenID can context something, because currently I'm just giving an outline. But once you start it, then you know which step comes, which steps next, like that. So because of that reason, I created this pages, right? That you must know your projects, basics like that, networking fundamentals. It will take roughly 1 year for you to develop everything around it. 1 to 2 years. If you are very serious with this career and if you're starting now, it may take 1 to 2 years to understand this thing. If you are extremely serious. Shreya, if I want to make my body, can I make it 1 month? I can go to the gym and tomorrow I will have a very strong body. Can I do that? Right? Correct? So you all know it will take at least minimally 2 seasons, at least 2-3 years, right? Before I basically do it. Correct? Am I correct? Right? So and then you will learn your body, you will learn what you need, something like that. Then you make it, right? Then you make it somewhere. So same way, just setting up the expectation, I'm giving you a jump start and giving you what you used. If you develop this Keycloak, only Keycloak, right? I don't know about India, but it is very well respected identity platform, right? If somebody is not using it, it is one of the key things. Even you do your own startup, you can provide solutions that even your team, what the team you are, right? You can start something together. You understand what the company's problems are. They are not managing, they don't have people, they are dedicating more on their business rather than these things, right? Something like, and if you mix with cybersecurity and other things, you will find various problems for which you can design the solution. Because the age and time you are in this age and time, you can't 100% looking for a job to someone, because there's not enough people who developing the work. You are learning something, right? You all 5 guys are learning something, right? And you are thinking there's someone exists who know better than you. He's running a business and you will get hired. That's your theory. It never happened. It will never happen. Trust me. Not happen to me as well, right? Not happen to me until unless I'm going to banks which are well established, hospitals or something like that, which are well established business. But trust me, whatever I am, even I'm extremely small ant style micro entrepreneur, but I did work based on my conditions. I did not accept any job. Even I had a serious discussion with Google Japan as well, or Amazon as well, multiple times. So it was not after that I will just jump to any job and whole day and night, doing the things for no reason, right? Means it's up to you how you decide. But if you have a skill, then you can take a chance. But if you don't know something, then you will say, okay, tell me, right? So I'm giving you a context, when I'm saying about enterprise identity manager, then these are the things involved. And in this enterprise identity manager, these tasks are involved. And addition to it, if I remember correctly, I have given to you, what is, so I have given you quickly, like all understanding as well, right? What project is, right? Correct? How in steps you can come, right? And I have mentioned everything here, right? What is the context, how it works, right? If you guys develop it by yourself with your own effort, you will be any day today is 5+ or 10+ years experience guys. Experience is what? Experience is what? Experience is what you have done that thing. That's it, right? I cannot play tennis. I cannot do swimming, but my son can do million times better than me, right? So even whatever the age I am, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. But my son, he just go to, even I don't want that he does, but he does what he is, or, you would have seen. So it's all about, he did it many, many, many times. So he's experienced. You got it, right? So if you want to swim, you have to do work. That's how there's no other way. Trust me, I did not learn from anyone. Nobody guided me, right? Key people I just followed Sometimes even I did same with YouTube, or sometimes, whenever I was working in some industry, somebody was talking, I noted down things. But in this system, in this one-to-one discussion, I have covered everything here. I have added here each and everything. What NIST, what is this? If Shreya, you will do this, you will able to. And one thing I told you, if you guys will not able to speak, if you are not doing your speaking practice, you won't be doing anything. Because you need to speak like, like Kajol in DDLJ movie speaking, or Shah Rukh Khan. Means you need to speak your word. Because now you cannot sit. Now you cannot sit. Unless I will not show you who I am, you will not going to talk with me. You will just say, hi, Sumit, hello, Sumit, that's it. You still, I'm happy. I know you guys still respect me, because that's really good. But what you will have a context? Nothing to learn, nothing to understand, nothing to, and if I'm not, even I have experience and I'm not able to speak, it's zero. Whether I have experience or whether I don't have experience, it's zero, right? So I need to convince. That's called the interview. And you can flip the table, right? You go to the interview and say, I know this, I know very well this, right? You need to figure out where your skills go, something. So see, this is extremely well designed. You need to go again, line by line. Don't say this. If you're coming here, multi-tenant identity store with tenant isolation, read 50 times, go to Cover, go to Cloud, go to something. That's what you are doing. It's not straightforward thing. You need to connect dots. It will take some time. So this project, my idea when I created this for you, it will stay with you. I'm not going to take it. This will stay with you, right? So you can in parallel develop these skills over the period, but it will take minimum 1 year, 2 years, something like that, right? And it's better to develop a skill, better skill you talk about, confident about, and stand about, something like that, rather than, you go to a company where you going to put in a specific project where you just giving files here and there, and you will feel that you are working. You will feel that, but actually you are not working. If somebody has 5 or 10 years of project experience, I don't know, you ask to many people how many times line they have the code has written or technical stuff they have done, something like that. So this all designed to you. I tried my best to give cloud fundament. It took me real effort. Even I took the help of AI, but trust me, to design it, I read it few times to make sure I'm not writing here something which is not make sense, right? So it was, and I figured out how I can write it such a way so it's helpful for you. Got it? And see what I have given to you, right? I have written, this is the architecture you need to develop on AWS, right? So I have added these things, right? And each word which got mentioned here, the serious companies, the serious tech companies, they do it. And your work is every day reading line by line. This document is confidential intellectual property. What is confidential meaning? What is intellectual meaning? What is property meaning? Who is GetPostLabs? Something like that, right? When you say GetPostLabs Cloud Security and Identity Engineering Foundation Roadmap. So cloud, you need to dive into what cloud to be called, why this word is famous. So you need to start that habits like we start from ABC. What is A for apple, B for boy, right? Then only forget everything, forget YouTube, BTube, CTube. You need to focus this document, link about what is NIST, CSF, KMS, TLS, whole system working on the public-private key, right? You must have, top of your head how public-private key system is working. You go and, distribute. Once you have these basics, in top of your head, you will see so many flaws everywhere across projects. And then you can say, this I can fix. It may take 2-3 years, but you will be well-rounded platform engineer. That's what the foundation is. Okay, so that's it. That's I thought to cover with you and give you a direction or something. What Vishu you can do is, what you can do is like, you can basically collect all the questions and send it to me. And that's the only thing I can do for you. You have to do it. I'm 100% damn sure. If you only follow this document, what I have given to you, that's your platform engineering is. That's your cloud engineering is, right? And I have tried my best, to give you everything. I have tried my best to write here, like, diagrams. Means I haven't given you half-cooked things. I have given you the details. So you should not be lost. You should not be running across, each page, each word is the real experience. Got it? So anyway, so that's the thing, I will suggest you guys to do, right? And yeah, for that was the reason I was following you, so that I can give you at least one session, what it is all about, why I have made it. And thanks for everyone that today you guys came. So next step, Rishu, what you have to do is you have to give me the clear questions and tag me, and we'll have a next session. And I'm going to explain what exactly the answer is.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything I can answer? Anything now?
Yes, sir. There is a question of me. Maybe it looks silly.
No. Go ahead.
Sometimes it comes in my mind that when you say read something or go in depth of the things, what actually it means? It means actually what you want to.
There is an Apple theory. My Apple theory. If somebody say to me, what is Apple, right? Its image come on top of my head. Okay. If you are speaking something and I close my eyes, it's still on top of my head. I can see from top of my head. That is the depth. And it's you means me or Vishu. It's you will define what is my starting point. And how we learn, let's say I'm learning TCP/IP, and when I was reading TCP/IP RFC, it says, it talks about port numbers. Then I take a step back. I go to port number RFC. Then I understand port number, right? But nowadays, what we can do is we can ask ChatGPT or Cloud Desk, what should be my starting point? What is this point? You must have that judgmental understanding, something like that, right? Your end goal is this project. You 4 people, your end goal. I have given you the goal, right? And you have to develop the understanding. How I do? Let me tell you frankly how I do. When I worked on this, on your document, it took me few weeks. First, I developed this. I just, whatever was on top of my head, I wrote it, right? I wrote it quickly. Then after 2 days, I again reviewed it, wrote a little bit more, again reviewed it a little bit more, again reviewed it a little bit more, again reviewed it a little bit more. After those revisions, when I did almost 2-3 weeks like that, this whole document stayed on top of my head. And then I added almost. Then I almost did all touching and everything. And then I got satisfied that I have prepared enough work for platform engineering team so that I can get that started. So what I am explaining is, if you doesn't think that I have experience and I know this, no, I still today, if today you will ask me, Sumit, can you explain me Java virtual machine? In high level, I can tell you, right? Or if you say, Sumit, can you tell me how Spring Boot, Spring Framework, whatever the questions you have, or you can ask me how, Sumit, what is the TCP header? I don't know. I know because you learn it, you forget it. But only thing stays same when you follow this Apple thing. If the image comes on top of your head, you can see it clearly because everything is where? On your hair, right? That's the depth. That's the depth. And one thing, we people says, I don't know whether you guys have not says, in Indian movie says, this is my dhanda, this is my business, right? So no compromise with my business, something like that. What I'm saying is like, we have to give priority to it. We have to give depth to it. We can't define the limit. We can increase the limit. And you don't need to only follow these bookish or those kind of things. You need to invent something, and you don't need to rush for jobs. I don't want that you guys do those kind of things. You do based on your choice, but I want you sit with the right team and grow. Because this theoretical way, you will not. That's I know. Grow means you will go slowly. So you have, once you do something, the depth comes, it will never go. It will never go. It will stay there. And that confidence, that confidence will help you. So have I answered?
So, sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, I was reviewing the project's architecture. A question came in my mind when we start a look at a new architecture. What was the first thing to try to understand first?
See, not always things what the problem we are solving, right? And when we are saying problem, we are showing who are the users, right? When somebody comes to your home and you are cooking kitchen, some guests are coming, you think who is coming. Whether you ask from your guest whether kids will come or not, whether aged person will come or not, you define the situation, this is a birthday party or not, then you do the architecture. Architecture means a high-level diagram, what will be, what you say, snacks, what will be lunch, what will be drinks, what will be something, that's your architecture, right? And then once you clear with all these things, if you are the key person, key host, once you clear with these things, then you start the steps. And in industry language, in my language, if we don't know, because many projects are unknown, we say solution discovery. We spend time on solution. So first thing is solution discovery. And what we do, we don't start everything. Whatever we clear, extremely clear, we start from that. Or we start happy path. Happy path means, let's say we're developing a solution, right? Let's say we are developing a solution that we have to go from New Delhi to Lucknow. Okay, we are developing some solution, a travel solution, right? Means a team has to travel from New Delhi to Lucknow, right? And what we are trying, we are optimizing everything. We are optimizing, no, best train is morning, best train is evening. We should go to sleeper, we should go something. Happy path is just pick up one train, one time and go. At least travel fast. Got it? I know I'm talking so high level, but your question is, when you design, if you have designed the architecture is based on the problem you are solving, and I will look into that architecture. But I totally understand that your meaning is I'm lost from where I'm start because it looks me too big. I totally understand that. So let's have a next discussion, right? And I will give you a smallest step one. We say hello world. You know hello world? So you have to design your own hello world in this. See, I can give you the answer. I can give you on the spot running solution. You sit with me in 3 hours, I will develop the solution, right? But that's not I want. I want you struggle, you search, you tell me why you did not reach to the solution. I want to see your sweating. And that way, you will, if you have not sweated, whatever I tell, it is another YouTube lecture to you. That's it. Correct? Right? So let's have a next session and I will help you share what the first thing you can do. But even you want any answer now, the first thing you can do is go to AWS Cognito. In that AWS Cognito, create some identities and create one program where what you can do is that program call Cognito APIs and do sign in and sign out. This recorded, I will share with you. Got it? So only do the step one, do sign in and sign out. Only two things with Cognito. And everything you see what happens with sign in and sign out. When it goes from browser, it reaches to Cognito, what it does, what comes back, what we call it sign in, what we call sign out, like that. That's step one. Okay. Any other question?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I will give you this recording. And I want that you should I want to see actually something which you have not seen what I have presented to you. If you do that, that means you are on the right track. Got it? And I will give you this video. Trust me, this video is super important for you. Listen line by line, listen this document. If you do this 1 year, 2 years, even just Keycloak, you will be super smart thing. So start with sign in, sign out. 3 things: sign in, sign out, and what do you say? Okay, when you do the sign in, there are 2-3 things comes. When you do the sign in, then Cognito gives you something like temporary password kind of thing. You enter the password, then you set up the MFA, multi-factor authentications, and then you enter to the system. When you go out of the system, you can do the sign out, right? In these 4 things, these, if you know, it has TCP/IP, it has HTTP, it has security, it has identity, it has JWT token, it has everything, right? So 4 things you guys work. This is the assignment. You guys work, show me, and read word by word. When you do this, what goes from your machine to Cognito from client, what goes in HTTP header, what goes in TCP, what goes in IP, what is URL, what is DNS, everything comes in this 3-4 methods. That's whole identity is. Clear? Okay, that's the starting point. Okay, anything else, Rishu?
No, sir, not only.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I think I have given you a very, but this is the big picture, right? Right. And what we are doing, we have to do something, right? What we are doing, we have to do something. Then we go a step.
So that all we were needed your guidance, right? Every time we used to talk like when will Service will connect to us, we'll have some guidance from him. Everybody says like that.
Okay. No. Actually, I messaged on that common channel. I don't know whether you missed or I missed. I given the same to data science team. I given to AI LLM. But next week I'm focusing on AI LLM guys. What they are doing is, but trust me, if you do one thing, it has everything. It has physics as well, chemistry as well, maths as well, biology as well. One thing you do it has everything. It's only how